What is up, guys and gals? Welcome to episode number 141 of the Nonsense Review. That's right, we don't want you to know we're calling. I'm your host as always, Devon, and joining me equally as always is Rick.
Hello, everybody.
Did you like my joke, Rick? Did you get it?
No,
I
didn't get it.
Oh,
I was zoned out. I was looking over my notes.
Oh, you bastard. For those of you who are familiar with the podcast know that before we dig into our review, what we like to do is briefly talk about our weeks and the goings-on in the wide universe. So with that in mind, Rick, how's your week been, buddy?
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 apparently cannot be launched without launching a stripped-down version of Modern Warfare 2, which, basically have to launch the entire Modern Warfare 2 HQ UI to even pick the option of the new game. It's an extra 70 to 90 seconds on a good system and much more on a shitty one. This is a stupid idea, and it's something that I'm angry at.
Is it something they did on purpose? Because that sounds like someone fucked up.
I think the idea is they call it the Modern Warfare HQ, and they want that to be their launcher, except it's a full-ass game.
That's dumb.
Yeah, it's bloody silly.
I don't understand. Wait, so they looked at every single other company and went, no, we're going to revolutionise things by doing something stupid. I don't know. I don't understand. I'm genuinely baffled by the concept.
And it's already Activision, so they've already got the Blizzard launcher.
I think they just want to not be associated with Blizzard. Which I can't blame them.
N7 Day has been and gone.
Oh, you bastard. This was on my thing. Go on.
Yeah, so all I've really seen is that the trailer shows both the Angara and the Geth. Either everyone's gone to Andromeda, or the Angara can time travel.
Yeah, it's like a 30-second tease at best. And, okay, there's some people who have just, gone over it with a fine-tooth comb because Mass Effect hasn't had content since Andromeda, which I feel like came out in 2017, but I'm probably wrong.
Probably earlier.
It's been 6 years since Andromeda.
Yeah, minimum.
Jesus. Not that Andromeda was good, but it was something.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, I think the thing that disappointed me most about Andromeda was that because they kind of did away with classes, everyone felt like they could just pick the best stuff, or at least you could as Ryder. You could just pick the best stuff and just have whatever you wanted, and it felt less like you had a replay value, you know?
I guess. I don't know, man. I played Andromeda once. It's the only Mass Effect game I've owned where I've played it once.
It's also the only Mass Effect that I never completed because I just lost interest.
You didn't miss much?
No. Callie went on an indefinite hiatus with no current reason given, and then immediately went back on it, saying that her community was awesome and that she wants to keep on working because she's a workaholic. So, yeah, she apparently wanted to take some time off for her health and to recover and not be a workaholic. Her apparent solution is to have certain days of the week where she doesn't stream. In other YouTube news, Smooth McGroove is back. You might know him. He's a guy who does a cappella covers of video game soundtracks.
I'm very sorry, Rick. I didn't mean to not give you anything for your Callie story. I was just trying to wrap my head around it. I know who Smooth McGroove is. Don't worry, I was a fan of his back when he was, active. It's nice to hear he's back, don't get me wrong. It's very weird to hear someone go, I need a break for my health, and then immediately go, never mind, I'm just going to have a normal work week and that will sort me out.
I mean, to a degree, kinda, because also she's never really had a normal work week. She's she's in that grind set where if you're not achieving something, then you're wasting your time breathing.
I kind of understand that to a certain degree, because one of the few things I know about Callie is she was a rapper before she became a VTuber anyway, which means she's always been in the entertainment business, and if you're not putting something out, you might as well not exist. And that sucks, but that's how the entertainment business works.
Yeah. It's a difficult and unhealthy mindset to have, but I understand it. But on a personal note, I managed to catch an episode of Rick and Morty. It started again without Justin Roiland. Not entirely without him, because he's right at the end of the credits. He's still credited as created by Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland.
Rightly so, just because he's a scumbag doesn't mean he didn't create the thing.
But to be honest, if I hadn't been told that he wasn't in it, I wouldn't have known. So very different to Solar Opposites, where they just recast Corvo as a British guy. They've got pretty good impersonators for Rick and Morty in Rick and Morty. And the last thing we did was we finished One Piece. Show's good. Looking forward to reviewing the first episode with you on a themed month in future.
Well, to be fair, if we're doing the live action anime stuff, we probably just won't do One Piece because there's enough stuff to do without it. We were kicking about the idea just for the sake of the audience who haven't heard that particular conversation, because apparently One Piece is actually quite good, which is a rarity for live action anime adaptations. So we were like, cool, why don't we start a month with that and then just shoot ourselves in the feet by doing Full Metal Alchemist and Death Note after?
Yeah. But yeah, there was obviously a lot of heart went into it. I didn't know as much about One Piece other than the main crew, so there were things that were still interesting and new to me, and just generally good time. I think that's enough from me. How about you? How has your week been? And what have you seen out in the wide world?
Rick, I binged Laserhawk on the same day when we reviewed Laserhawk. Have you watched it yet?
I haven't, no, but you said in private that a bunch of things that we predicted while we were reacting ended up coming true.
Not predicted, what we joked about. Like, because Cody Rhodes was in the first episode, we kept bringing up another wrestler called Kenny Omega, and I shit you not, he shows up in episode 3, and I was just like laughing my arse off. It's a good show. It was way more depressing than I was expecting. I was expecting it to be balls to the walls, over the top silly shenanigans, which it is that as well. But I remember messaging you after I watched episode 2, just saying, oh fuck me, episode 2 is a downer.
Yeah, like good episode, but a downer.
But fuck, it never really bounces back from that low. It's just, that sets the stage for, this is not happy fun times.
I mean, it sets the tone of Rayman's in it and he's not a good guy.
Oh, he gets an arc.
Fair.
He gets the best story, the second best story arc in the show, because the best story arc is Laserhawk himself.
Yup. Well, you would hope so.
But yeah, if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. That was a good fucking... Like, it was really weird, because I DM'd our session, went downstairs to make a sandwich because it was late and I hadn't had dinner yet, had my sandwich while watching episode 2, and then thought, it's still before midnight, there's 4 episodes left, I can get this done before 2 o'clock, so I just did.
Yeah.
I can't wait for them to release more, because there is a stinger at the end. Not in the typical Netflix fashion, they pretty much pulled a Marvel in that the story ends, credits, and then there's a after credit scene that suggests there could be more, but you know, they could also just leave it and it wouldn't matter.
Sure.
In other viewing news, I watched Godzilla vs. Megalon 2023.
Okay. Was it any fun?
It is. The Godzilla YouTube channel releases, I feel like once a year, a very stellar animation.
Alrighty.
Last year it was Godzilla vs. Gigan Rex. This year it was Godzilla vs. Megalon. And it's a continuation, and it makes perfect sense, because in Megalon's movie he teams up with Gigan.
Okay.
They made Megalon look fucking awesome. The fight was cool. They had some live action segments of people reacting to Godzilla in the background. Half of them like, oh, it's just Godzilla, who cares? And everyone else going, oh, fuck, it's Godzilla, we need to run. Rick, I don't know if you've ever seen the infamous gif of Godzilla doing a dropkick.
I have.
Okay, so that is from Godzilla vs. Megalon, and they do it again in this animation because they know what people want to see.
Fun.
It's stupid. It's so dumb looking, and yet it lives in infamy, and almost every Godzilla fan, even if you don't really like goofy Godzilla, I like Godzilla when he's a bit goofy. It's a fun time. But that in particular, it's like, it's one of those things that has expanded from the Godzilla fandom, in that even if people who don't know what the fuck Godzilla is, they've probably seen that gif.
Yep.
Megalon looks like a threat. There's some real fun shit. The reason why I like Godzilla is because it's basically wrestling.
Yeah.
Except instead of 2 dudes in spandex, it's 2 giant monsters.
Totally.
You ready for some news, Rick?
Yeah, let's go.
Rockstar Games offers up its announcement. The announcement is that they will reveal a trailer for their next GTA in December, because it's their 25th anniversary in December. Note, they did not say it's going to be GTA 6, they just said it's their next GTA game.
They're not announcing a thing, they're announcing an announcement.
To be fair, they're announcing a trailer. It is a bit more than announcing nothing, but boy do I miss the days when companies would just release a trailer and that was it, not say, oh, in 2 weeks start your watches, watch the clock.
Yeah, that said, we got the very first Elder Scrolls 6 trailer about 3 years ago, and nothing has happened since. I think Todd Howard has even said, yeah, we released that too early.
Yeah, he has, because weirdly enough, I also clicked on that news article. It wasn't Todd Howard saying it was another developer who has since left, not developer, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Who has left Bethesda since, and he said, oh yeah, Todd Howard put that out, and he should not have put it out that early, and that is so not like Todd Howard, because he likes to put out a trailer and then in 6 months the game's out.
Yep.
And you know what? If you look at the history, that is pretty much on point.
I think it's one of those where it had been so long since Skyrim that I think the world needed some idea about more things happening in the Elder Scrolls.
The weird weird thing about Elder Scrolls Skyrim is it's really easy to remember when that game came out because it was the 11th of November 2011.
Yeah.
So we all know it's been 12 years.
Yeah. Oh, man. Jeez.
In other gaming news, Rick, it's not really my thing, but Nintendo is threatening us with a Legend of Zelda live-action movie.
Yes, I saw this briefly. It feels like they had a brief high with the Mario movie being the highest grossing video game movie.
Yes, but why live action?
I don't know. I think they're doing the Disney thing of putting live action up on a pedestal.
Perhaps I'm in the dark ages and very close-minded, but if you're going to make a movie based on a video game, and no, we are not including Spirits Within, maybe do it in an animated form.
Yeah. Well, even Spirits Within was CGI.
Okay, I class CGI as animation, Rick. Fucking bite me.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Even Spirits Within was animated. Like, oh, and do you know who they're making it with?
Oh, I haven't got a clue because I didn't click the article because I don't care. I just know it's happening.
They're making it with Sony.
Okay, Sony have not got the best track record when it comes to adapting things into film. If they said it was an animation with Sony, I'd be actually kind of hyped because they knocked it out the park with Spider-Verse and Spider-Verse 2.
Yeah. Spider-Verse 2, Hotel Transylvania in general has been like a big thing for Sony, and Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs I think is their other big one.
But the thing with Sony live action that bothers me is like they've never been able to do anything since Spider-Man 3. They've not been able to do a decent live action adaptation because I'm looking at you, not Craven, that's not out yet. Fucking Morbius.
Yep, it's Morbin time.
I'm looking at you. We're gonna make a Craven the Hunter movie without Spider-Man.
Yeah, Venom 1 was all right.
Venom 2 was all right. But it could have been better if it had Spider-Man.
Yeah.
How dare you try to do the Carnage origin story without Spider-Man involved? It completely fucks it.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of fucks it doing Venom without Spider-Man, but, you know, they kind of made it work.
The reason why Venom doesn't have the spider thing on his Venom suit in the Venom films is because he's not allowed to, because Spider-Man doesn't exist in that universe.
Yep.
Rick, this is not a wrestling podcast.
Oh no.
Logan Paul is now the United States champion, and I'm only slightly mad.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm not mad for the reason people might think I'm going to be mad for, because for what it's worth, I don't really give a shit that Logan Paul is a wrestler and doing wrestling things. He is a good shitheel, and therefore he is a natural fit for the WWE.
Oh yeah, like his physique and his skill set as a terrible person are perfect fits for being a heel.
But the thing about the United States Championship, and I'm not even going to talk about prestige because I don't even care about that, is the reason why you put a belt on a person is to make them more popular and more knowledgeable, and weirdly enough, Logan Paul doesn't need it.
Yeah.
Unless they're going to leave the belt on Logan Paul for like a month, and then at the next pay-per-view, they're going to have someone beat the shit out of him and take the belt off him to make that person popular. I really don't understand the decision.
It's a bit of a head-scratcher.
I mean, I'm sure people who are fans of Logan Paul are like, oh, cool, he's got a title belt now, but there has to be a certain crossover between the two fan bases, for lack of a better word, because otherwise WWE would not invest the money in him.
No.
Over on the other side of things in AEW, Ric Flair has signed up with AEW. Why has he signed up with AEW? Because he's going to help Sting. And boy, can I not wait for Ric Flair to turn on Sting again and Sting to be surprised for the 100th time.
Okay.
Back in the 90s, Ric Flair and Sting would constantly team up, Rick. And Ric Flair would always turn on Sting at some point, and Sting would always be surprised, and it's never not funny. Rick, what are we doing today?
We're doing Gamera. It's going to be on Netflix.
It's Gamera Rebirth, very specifically. It's the animated series.
Yeah. And episode 1 is called Over Tokyo. It's 3, 2, 1, and go.
So we're playing a bit hard and fast with the anime rule today, aren't we?
Yeah. We're, like, we tend not to do anime in general, but for this, we're, because it's got subtitles and it's in English, we're treating it as a cartoon.
It's not, though. It's in Japanese.
Well, mine's in English.
Defaults to Japanese because that's the original language, because it's an anime.
Okay. Not for me, it hadn't.
Is that a fucking N-Gage?
It looks like it. He's at 2 FPS. Just tanks on the beach.
Why do I get a feeling that they're going to flash back to the Gamera stuff? Oh no, Gamera was dead in the fucking intro.
Oh man, are they reviving Gamera? That'd actually be pretty cool.
The N-Gage exploded. Oh, well, it makes sense. It's called fucking Rebirth, isn't it?
Yeah, there we are.
Why the fuck is this theme tune so loud compared to the rest? Fucking hell.
Man, these kids do look like Digimon protagonists.
Jesus, I was just thinking it.
With those colourful 90s costumes. Or specifically the kid in glasses.
Like, it was in the rulebook for a while that the protagonist of Digimon needs goggles. And glasses are just goggles, but less cool.
Yep. Man, this is a long opening theme.
It fucking is, ain't it?
Yeah.
Oh shit, we've seen that dude!
Yeah, the Sword Man.
Yeah, we watched that guy's movie. Actually, I think we watched the Squid Guy's movie as well.
Yeah, it was the Squid Guy, wasn't it? Like, we were... I was wondering if the Squid Guy's going to be non-evil, and then it turns out, no, he's a dickhead as well.
Dude, I will legitimately flip my shit if we ever get a Gamera Godzilla crossover in my lifetime. I don't think we will, but you never know.
Outside of The Simpsons.
That doesn't count. By the by, we're in New Guinea for some fucking reason.
Yeah, I'm bit of a head scratcher there, but oh well.
Fuck. They're doing the same thing as Godzilla, where there's a bunch of fucking holes with weird monsters in all over the world, so... I don't know if Godzilla invented that, but it sure as fuck feels like it did.
Yeah.
So this is probably Gamera's version of Monarch. And I just realised saying that probably doesn't mean anything to you.
Not really. I'm assuming by the name Monarch it is the other king of the monsters.
No, Monarch's an organisation that tries to control monsters in the Godzilla universe.
Okay. Oh, it's cute!
I mean, okay, you're allowed to think what you want, but... You're just Shadowheart turning them all into bing bongs.
I put Bing Bong on Karlak to set him on fire.
Aren't imps slightly resistant to fire damage, at least?
I think they're immune. Like, it was the bludgeoning damage from being thrown that killed him, not the fire damage.
So directly Lae'zel's fault then, not even Karlak's.
Oh, it's definitely Lae'zel's fault.
Are they buying a fucking... Oh, what were the names of those fucking radios you used to be able to get in the 70s?
Oh, yeah, like CB radio or ham radio.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, my folks used to have one, back when it was not illegal yet.
The only reason I know what they exist is because Carl Pilkington used to talk about them all the fucking time.
Oh, yeah, and he was like Pilky One, wasn't he?
No, he was Boxer Boy. Despite only going to boxing class once. Okay, so we're in a weird fucking historical time right here where we've got old technology, but they've also got a base on the moon. So fuck if I know.
Well, that's a little bit like how they had it in the 60s show, didn't they? Like they had 60s technology, but they'd done more with it than they have done in the real world at the time, or even now.
Well, that was the aliens, though.
Yeah,
whereas this implies that this is just straight up saying that humans have a lunar colony right now and are farming resources on the moon.
Yeah, well, by the same token, Gamera could just go to space on his own accord, and at this point, we know that he's already dead.
We don't know that. We just know he dies at some point in the series.
Sure.
Because I was actually paying attention during the intro, and they pick up a baby turtle at the stream, which is what I feel like they're going to do in 5 minutes. So I think they're going to raise Gamera to Big Monster Gamera, and then Big Monster Gamera is going to die, and then they're going to feel sad, and then their tears are probably going to bring him back to life, because this is basically Pokemon.
Yep. And that's Gamera Rebirth, title drop.
It's Pokemon, but with giant turtles.
So Pokemon again.
No, but kaiju turtles. We got to wait 7 gens for that shit.
I mean, that's just Mega Blastoise.
I just said we got to wait 7 gens for that shit.
Yep.
Man, that one kid's got a really deep, obvious Japanese person voice in him.
What, the black-haired one?
Yeah. Like, he
Yeah,
sounds like a man who's been smoking 20 a day for the last year.
He's got a kind of deep voice in English, like when Johnny Young Bosch does a older person voice rather than a kid voice.
Oh, dude, I couldn't tell you, because I can't remember who he's ever voiced. I know he's popular in dubs, but I couldn't tell you any of his roles.
Adachi is the big one.
Okay. Okay, so they want to buy the radio because one of them's moving, and they want to be able to talk to them every day.
Yeah, it's kind of sweet.
Eh? Are they talking about pissing themselves in the English as well?
Yes.
That's a weird way of phrasing that.
Yeah, delicacy. I think they had to say delicacy just so they could make the hungry joke.
God damn, that is a pretty sad sight, isn't it?
It is a bit, yeah.
I'm going to assume that this pond isn't a pond then and has a tide, otherwise that sentence makes no sense.
Yeah. Or they like know it's quicksand or something. Not quicksand. You know what I mean, like quick mud.
How the fuck is one of them called Boko and the other one's called Joe?
You're halfway there. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, you just did like
that. Is an ugly fucking turtle. Actually, looks like a terrapin.
Yeah, like a giga terrapin.
Don't just sniff some dude. Couldn't have needed to piss that badly then, eh?
No.
Dude, there's no worse feeling than being covered in mud.
Yeah. I mean, I once lost a shoe in mud. That was a bad time.
It belongs to the swamp people now.
It does. I was like up to my thigh in mud. Like I got proper stuck. I had to get pulled out. And yeah, the shoe stayed behind.
How long ago was this? Because if it was a certain amount of years away, it's probably actually biodegraded by now.
Oh yeah, it was maybe about half my life ago.
Oh yeah, that shoe's fucking definitely. One day we'll go back and try and reclaim it, and it's just like, no, it belongs to nature now.
Like more than half my life ago, probably 20 years. Well, the top half will have biodegraded. The bottom half would have been rubber, so that'll probably still be
there forever then.
Yep.
Dude, I don't know if you have this thing in your area, but I remember the police used to give a real fucking bollocking to anyone who was caught doubling up on a bike.
Oh, yeah, that was a thing. Like, one of the things we were told when we were doing cycling proficiency was A, that. And B, right at the end, they said, just because you got your proficiency doesn't mean go out on the streets and cycle.
Then what the fuck's the point in doing it then?
I know, right? Basically, the policeman had to be there to, sign off on cycling proficiency when it was just a basic instruction on the highway code. But he didn't agree with it being a qualification, so he told all the kids that. Then again, I was also 9, and I might have been the only person that paid attention to him saying that.
Maybe. Speaking of, it seems this world's fucked because there's a bunch of villages that are just missing people, and they've only found one body.
Hmm.
This is such a... it's kind of a true statement, but at the same time, you shouldn't actually tell the kids that.
Yeah. Like, let your kids be kids.
Like, I don't think... I can't even remember people I was friends with when I was 5.
No. Like, I was lucky in that the people that I was friends with when I was 5 were I was friends with till I was 9, and, you can remember things from when you were 9.
Oh, that's kind of fucked up, making your kid do all the cooking.
Yeah, when he's like 3 deep into a 4-pack.
Okay, yeah. These are 3 very different families, aren't they?
Oh, it's even the nerd from Digimon. Izzy, they called him. There we are. I was blanking on his name. The Kabuterimon kid.
I didn't realise you were trying to think of his name because I could have helped you.
Yeah.
So we got the main kid, the kid we saw at the beginning. His life is pretty bog standards. His mum's a bit of a hard ass, but not the worst in the world. We got the slightly older kid who's clearly a delinquent because he has to do all the things at home because his dad's drunk. And we got the third kid who's a bit sheltered and nerdy, and his mum seems to be very
standoffish, to say the least.
Standoffish? No, not at all. She was offering him ice cream.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about the third kid.
Okay.
Rick, what would you do if you saw these things eating at your bin?
Apparently I dropped my hand in reflex after having it lasered off by these things.
You can't really keep hold of an arm if it gets severed.
Yeah. Reflexively.
Assume that they didn't immediately shoot you with lasers. What would be your reaction to seeing one of those creatures just sitting on your bin?
I'd probably just back off and let it have the bin.
Oh, cool, the dickhead foreigners.
Yeah, they're going konnichiwa in English as well. Yeah, dude has this one chance to make a good first impression, and he's using it to browbeat some kids.
Depending on when this is set, this is legitimately what the American mindset was.
One of these guys in English sounds like Hunter.
Okay. His Japanese is surprisingly good considering their fucking dumb fuck yokels.
Yeah.
Dude, this reminds me of the time when I played basketball for the school and we played up against kids who were 18 and had moustaches. And it was just like, this doesn't seem fair. But there wasn't really much we could do. Man, you ain't fucking shit going down after one punch from that scrawny fuck.
That said, I've also been punched by a person with tiny hands. It's like being stabbed.
Yeah, but unless they hit you in the right place, you ain't going down.
Oh, this was a vicious little shit. He knew where to hit you.
See, if this was set in America, they'd be like, cool, I know a guy who can get me a gun.
Yeah.
Subtitles did not help me there because they decided to cut between two so quickly I couldn't read the first line.
Mm-hmm.
Although I think the first line was closed captions, so it was probably just like Japanese screeching.
Unintelligible screeching.
How the fuck would they not have spent the money already in the amount of times this plan took to fucking make?
Oh, yeah. Like, that money's gone.
We're gonna make chili and piss in it. Haha, that's our secret revenge. That's fucking Cartman level petty. Man, that low-key reminded me of when we had fireworks in our back garden and one got lit off and then it didn't go off and you had that one fuck who's like, shit, are they fucking seriously gonna use flamethrowers?
Mm-hmm.
That's against the Geneva Convention, kids.
So they made the homemade mustard gas with chili oil and piss. And that's what they were loading into the grenades, I assume.
Oh yeah, what do you need? Ammonia and bleach, and that's why you shouldn't take a piss very quickly after cleaning up your toilet.
Yeah, because it fucks you up.
They already knew his name! They used his name when they were doing the planning about 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
We're going to have to timestamp that because I heard it over Discord.
I'm sorry, yep.
If they've been in Gamer Square for the whole day, they've spent all your money, kids.
Mm.
You're going to commit war crimes for nothing. Really? This entire arcade and there's only 4 kids and it's your rival gang?
Yeah, and only one of them's playing.
How the fuck is Brody a nickname?
I don't know.
I think they got a deal with
Outrun.
Sega.
Outrun, man. I remember having that.
This feels like a villain that Kiryu would beat the fuck out of in Yakuza.
Well, except he's, like, clearly 14.
Oh, guess what, Rick? That doesn't matter. If Kiryu thinks you're a piece of shit, you're getting a punch in the mouth. Man, I remember there was a sub-story in one of the fucking Yakuza games where someone wanted to know what was in a certain vending machine, and it was clearly pornography. And Yakuza. I almost said John Yakuza Man. Kiryu had to
John Yakuza Man's funnier.
Had to sneak past a bunch of very attractive Japanese ladies to get to a pornography vending machine and buy some pornography for this quite clearly 10-year-old child. Because Yakuza has a weirdly serious plot for the main story, and I've heard it described once, and I completely agree. Every single sub-story is basically an episode of The Simpsons.
Yeah. I was at the pornography store. I was buying pornography.
That's a kaiju being summoned.
Yeah.
Well, trying to be dealt with, I should say. There are 8 creatures. Wait, are they seriously sending jets against those little tiny fucking bat things? Oh, they're not so tiny no more, never mind.
Oh yeah, they're just chowing down on civilians. Just plucking them out of buildings like fruit.
Nothing like a good nani.
Yeah, it would. In the English one, it just went, huh?
It was subtitles as hard, but the fucking pilot quite clearly went, nani?
Nani?
We must bury our beef, for there are monsters that will kill us all.
Oh no, we now have a common enemy.
Oh, fuck off. I know that's what I was saying, but fuck.
Bigger jaws.
It's basically a D&D monster.
Yeah. I mean, you throw 1,000 darts, at least one of them's going to hit a bullseye. When it comes to conspiracies.
Well, it's like I like Men in Black, where fucking Kay picks up a magazine, and it's like a rag mag about like, oh, an alien married my cousin's sister, and he just goes, oh, this is the best journalism in the country because it's actually true. Ha ha.
Yeah.
That's the big joke.
Yep.
See, I could understand people wanting to cover up giant monster attacks. It would be difficult to do, but I could see why they wouldn't want the general populace to panic.
Oh, yeah, and the standard solution, just like in Men in Black. Oh, it was swamp gas. Refracting light from Venus. causing mass hallucinations.
Yeah, but it's a bit harder to explain the mass hallucination when the damage is real.
Oh, yeah, the damage was caused by people doing the mass hallucinations?
Sure. Fuck off.
Yep. Or if it's in the city, a gas main exploded. In 4 different buildings, all at once, at different heights.
It's interesting this guy's shitting on the other team because it's like if they did their job better, this wouldn't have happened. Which is kind of true, but also I feel like they were underprepared.
Conveniently, they're wearing masks so they don't have to animate the mouths on these 2 guys.
Well, they're also in a lab setting, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
There's fucking 30 now.
They're breeding.
I don't think they are, is the thing. I think they're like fucking really annoying germs in that they're just splitting.
Yeah. Either that or they miscounted the 28 before.
It was 20 before.
Well, it was 20 little ones and 8 big ones.
Oh, okay.
So about 30 is about right.
Who cares about lung cancer when we're about to get ripped to pieces by monsters?
Moral high ground.
I'm really pulling a fucking Poochie right now because I'm just like, where's Gamera? Because he's clearly going to fix the problem.
Maybe. We've got 15 minutes left, but that includes credits. Oh man, that looked like claymation.
I don't know, I imagine the credits for this fucking show are pretty small.
Well, we'll find out. They've got at least 2 languages to credit.
Oh, they got like 10. Oh, there's the big one. It's a fucking discount Rodan.
They're still sat there. I mean, stood there.
Okay, so these are meant to be Thunderbirds from North American tribal lore. The only reason I know what a Thunderbird is because... No, Thunderbirds are different. They're literally from Native American folklore.
Oh, yeah.
Because Thunderbirds are a thing in SMT. That's the only reason why I know that fucking name.
Yeah.
And their design in SMT is dumb because they're like silver.
Hmm.
Really? Yeah. Really?
Yeah, he's been stabbed, ain't he?
You fucking idiot. No, he's not been stabbed, but there's clearly a monster just off screen.
Yeah, there we are.
Are they going to do the fucking Homer Simpson thing of like putting a bar in the door so the other kids can't escape? We'll never know.
Yeah, because they're not going to get to that door now. Oh, it's drinking the electricity.
I don't think it's drinking it. I think it's being painfully electrocuted. It doesn't seem to like it. Apparently that dude's name is Osborne. Fuck off! Are they going to have Pacific Rim robots coming in?
Huh.
No, they're not. No, I'm getting my hopes up for nothing.
I mean, this came out after the Pacific Rim animation as well, so...
Yeah, I know, but they're all owned by different companies, Rick. It's why Pacific Rim didn't have a crossover with Godzilla either.
Yeah. Well, I think more because Godzilla has a bit more staying power. Like, maybe me being a bit of a snob, but Godzilla can stand on its own.
Yeah, but having Pacific Rim robots fight fucking Ghidorah makes perfect sense. Not Ghidorah. I've forgotten the thing's name. It's a giant slud monster. Hedorah.
Hmm.
I'm saying these names, and I realise that you can't appreciate it, and I apologise.
Like, I know King Ghidorah because of the PSO enemy, and that's it.
Yeah, but again, I didn't mean Ghidorah, I meant Hedorah.
Yeah.
I say this is at least past 1989 because we saw that year on a poster.
Yep. The Battle of 1989.
Huh. What the fuck is Snake Man?
Snake Man. I guess it's like a combination of Snake and Pac-Man.
Come on, Gamera, friend to all children.
Oh, Joe's a good kid, ain't he, though? Trying to shield his buddies.
I'm waiting for the reveal because it's quite clearly Gamera, right? It has to be. Where's Gamera? I like the idea that Gamera's on his way to the main fight, saw some kids in trouble, and just decided to spend 2 minutes just sorting that out first.
Because they helped his child.
Yeah! Oh, okay, Gamera actually looks pretty good in this art style, though.
He does.
But I think that's partly because Gamera in... Oh, they got the Raw. I think that's partly because Gamera in the movies is actually a bit shit looking.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to see Gamera just fucking roast a bunch of motherfuckers. It's interesting how they went with an electric effect for it brewing up before sending out the fireball.
It is, actually.
Oh, these motherfuckers have no chance.
Yeah, they're not piercing that stone hide.
Fucking let them die. Leave them die. Just leave them die. Fuck you, Boko.
I mean, he's got to be the hero, ain't he?
Yeah, but they were... Rick, they had a flamethrower to deal with them.
Yeah. This is where they're going to use the mustard gas bombs to take care of that one straggler.
That's a fuck... I don't know what it sounds like in English, but the Japanese-sounding scream was the dumbest.
Yeah, it just went kind of... Yeah! In English.
Yeah, there you go, Rick. You got your wish. Maybe I'm being overly harsh, Rick, but this is ridiculous.
I mean, of course it is. Gamera's going to snipe.
He didn't snipe,
okay,
he just stomped.
Finesse it with a stomp.
I appreciate there'll be some people going into this series that don't know that Gamera is a friend to mankind. Unlike Godzilla, Gamera is unequivocally... Fucking dumbass. Is unequivocally a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Where Godzilla flip-flops a lot. But Gamera entirely face.
Yeah. The only time Gamera is not face is when he's being mind-controlled.
Which happens a lot.
Yeah.
But Godzilla's never mind-controlled when he's evil. He just feels like being a dick that week. Well, sometimes he's mind-controlled. Like, there's enough different versions of Godzilla that Space Godzilla and Mecha Godzilla are also kind of Godzilla.
Yo.
We don't talk about Godzuki.
Oh, no.
It's going to be Kaiju. There are two solutions to kaijus in every single movie. Either you make a giant robot to fuck it up, or you find a kaiju that's kind of a good guy and ask him for help.
And normally the other kaiju is the way to make it work.
Yeah. Also, by the by, they weren't cigarettes, they were milk caramel duds.
It's kind of wholesome.
Sounds when they said Pacific Rim, they literally just meant the rim of the Pacific.
So their own gang of dudes who are, like, holding off that area. Not related to the franchise named as such.
Yeah, it literally sounds like the fleet that was in the Pacific. Gamera, buddy, you gotta fucking lead your target better than that. Man, listen to this fucking sick metal music they've decided to suddenly kick up to.
Yeah. That's a good shot. I mean, cinematically, not the fact that he fucking missed.
Yeah, I kind of figured. Oh, you love to see it. You love to see the classic fucking limb pull.
Yeah.
Didn't quite go off, but boy, was it cool for the attempt. Fuck! I do appreciate that they're not holding back on the fucking gore in the monster fights.
Yeah, because they're monsters and you can give them purple blood and then it's not real.
I think this is also a 15.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Get fucked.
Yeah, the shockwave.
I suppose that shockwave would be rather hot considering it originated with a fireball.
Yeah.
Gamera's like, hey, dicks, I was fucking helping.
Yeah, well, they couldn't take down the Thunderbirds, and Gamera fucked those up. So, oh, here we go. He's doing one.
How the fuck did he know its name?
Maybe he gives it its name. Maybe it doesn't have a name before that.
That'd be dumb, but okay. Here come the science knobheads to ruin the mood. Have we got an Android 21 situation, have we?
Maybe.
She's kind of attractive for the art style.
Yeah. Oh, it's April O'Neil.
Is it?
Nah, just a... Oh, Gyaos, okay.
That name might mean something if you've watched more Gamera movies, but I haven't, so... Only 2 minutes and a half of credits, Rick, so that's not too much.
Sure.
It's all in Japanese, so I can't fucking read it, but...
Yeah, I read something that went animation.
Yeah. Yeah, we got some credits to sit for. The credits are really interestingly animated. It looks kind of like a bunch of just random colours, but then the few moments when it actually focuses, you can see the shapes they're trying to make.
Yeah, so it's like just the highlights of something. Like each individual freeze frame looks like one of those metal paintings that you can get where it's just black.
Yeah.
Yeah, a black slate, and then you scratch into the copper underneath.
Yeah, excellent way of describing it. That's exactly what it is. We're getting a bit more of a better view of some of the monsters. That's definitely the squid we saw in that one movie. That was definitely Baroff, the knife-faced fuck.
Yeah.
So, this thing's only 6 episodes. I might give it a bit more of a chance than I gave Godzilla's animated things on Netflix.
Yeah, I think the idea was that the reason we didn't do it when it first came out, because this has been out a little while already, was because you expected it to be shit after the Godzilla one.
Well, here's the thing. The thing that let me down about Godzilla is I've seen some... Like, Godzilla fights King Ghidorah in the 3rd one, I think. And I've seen shots of what King Ghidorah looks like in that style, and he's just a long Chinese myth dragon.
Sure.
Which, you know what King Ghidorah looks like. That's not King Ghidorah. Why have you called it King Ghidorah? Call it something else, fuckface.
Yeah, like Shu Chaomon.
What the fuck? What?
Yeah, Azulongmon, sorry. Shu Chaomon's the Phoenix one, isn't it?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just hearing nouns.
The Digimon that are the 4 heavenly kings.
Oh, the fucking dragon's called, like, Analogmon, so...
Yeah, so in my day, Azulongmon was the the blue one that's like a big ass fucking Gyarados that is friendly to the Digidestined in season 1.
Okay, it was a 12 by the way, not a 15.
Sure.
Surprisingly graphic for a 12.
Yeah.
But then again, as you rightly pointed out, the graphicness was towards the monsters and they're not people, so therefore it's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, what did you think?
It was decent. Like I wasn't expecting it to be that great, but it like surpassed my expectations.
Compare it to the 2 Gamera films I've made you watch.
Okay, so the films completed the story that they had. This was very definitely an episode, so if I got 2 hours of this rather than a 45-minute, there'd be more Gamera, and I think that's what it needs. You hit the nail on the head with the Where's Poochie problem, and yeah, we only got Poochie in the last, 10 minutes.
Well, okay, here's the thing. With any kaiju media, you need to have a human story, otherwise it's going to be a bit shit. However, you've got to find a good balance. I understand that the protagonists for this series are clearly going to be these 3 kids, specifically Boko, because they did that flash forward as the beginning shot. But it's a Gamera problem, because Gamera's gimmick is he's a friend to all children. Therefore, the human story is going to focus around kids, and those stories tend to be shit.
Yeah. In live action, they tend to be worse. In animation, you can write a better kid character, and you can animate a kid better than you can get most child actors to act. It's just one of those sad facts of life that most child actors are not very good.
I don't think the acting was the problem in the Gamera movies. The problem with the Gamera movies is they have to double them.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, how about you? What do you think?
I thought it was really good, actually. Once the giant monsters became a thing, I got significantly more invested. Don't get me wrong, I need the human element to be compelling. When they were hiding from the little monsters, despite being little shitlings, I was invested, and it gave us the epic shot we knew we were going to get of Gamera just doing a quick little blast to be like, hey, you okay in there?
Yeah.
I definitely like the kaiju element of these films more. However, I think there's a bit of optimism to be seen from the human story, especially seeing as how quickly the kids have been roped into some dark shenanigans with some secret researchers. They're not even that secret because the military knows that they exist. So
yeah. I mean, I think with kaiju movies like that, well, not even movies, kaiju things like this, it's a bit like pepperoni. Your pizza can't all be pepperoni, because if it was, then you'd just have a salami stick, and that's a bit crap. You need the best bit to be sparingly used.
Okay, I kind of get what you're saying. However, every single pizza place offers a pepperoni pizza, which is so covered in pepperoni, it might as well be a pepperoni stick on top cheese. So, obviously, that's not how it goes, Rick. You picked the wrong ingredients. But we could make poor analogies all day. Let's get to the nitty-gritty, Rick. Do you have a favourite moment?
The fight. Like, it's not even close. Specifically, the shot where there was like a triple take of Gamera doing the finishing flame shot on Big Gyaos. Yeah, that.
Was your favourite part of Power Rangers when the Megazord showed up?
Generally, yeah, like...
Yeah, I could tell.
Yeah. I mean, who gives a shit about the human bit in Power Rangers that's there to be filler, to show that, oh yeah, Tommy's a cool guy and he's cooler than Jason. And that Alpha just going aye for like 45 minutes. No, you want to watch the Zords. You want to watch the Zords kick the shit out of the monster, and you want to watch the Power Rangers win. Or not, like twice per season. But yeah, how about you? What was your favourite moment?
Gamera's initial appearance was done to perfection.
Yeah, just panning up slowly and then showing his breath charging up. Yeah, that was a pretty good reveal.
It was a very classic reveal for a kaiju, and whoever was in charge of direction clearly knew what they were doing.
And like you say, it was interesting to see that he's got an electric effect that converts into fire.
Yeah, because it's been a minute since we watched those live action movies, but I don't remember him having an electric effect to build up. But that being said, it's one of the beauties of animation is you can add details like that with very little, in relation to live action effort.
Yeah, because it seemed when he was flying away at the end that his jets were more the colour of the electric effect than the colour of the fire, whereas in the live action I seem to remember it being like the same colour fire all the time.
Yeah, but that's because in the live action, because it was so old and it wasn't done with CG, it was literally used with like firework rockets.
Yeah.
That being said, we can't only talk about the good, we also have to talk about the bad. Rick, do you have a weakest link?
The fact that it took so long to get like good kaiju action. I understand it, but like there could have been about maybe 10-15 minutes less of the humans before they started with the ramp up towards the actual kaiju action, because they showed us a little bit at the beginning and then just kind of forgot about it for a while, and then only after we'd had a bit of humans they started the bin chickens. Yeah, they could have accelerated that quite a bit and made it into a 30-minute cartoon rather than a 45-minute.
I agree, but I disagree, because on the one hand, yes, I feel like there were some elements of the human side of things that could have just been cut for time. Like I don't think they needed to show as much time of the kids planning their attack on the American kid. I think that could have probably been cut, because the only reason they showed that is so there was a reason for them to have the mustard gas bombs during the monster confrontation. They could have just found something in the environment to fight the monster back temporarily. There's any number of situations. There's other things that you couldn't afford to cut, like the brief snippets into the kids' home lives, so you know why each kid is the way they are. If you cut that, it would have just there is no rhyme or reason to the reason to why the kids act the way they do.
Well, you say that, but that could also be the snippet that you get in future episodes, like have one of them in episode 1, 1 in 2, and 1 in 3.
But Rick, that scene took up like 3 minutes at most.
Sure.
It's also one of those where, yes, I was complaining about it a little bit because I thought it'd be funny too, but in reality, the wait is what made the Gamera reveal the payoff, because we knew it was coming. The show's called after Gamera. They're gonna have Gamera solve the problem in episode 1 so people know Gamera's the shit. And I feel like waiting until the last 10 minutes was actually to its benefit, because,
yeah,
hey, this isn't an hour and a half movie and we don't see Gamera for 45 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, it's better than just ending on Gamera as oh boy, what's he gonna do in episode 2 to solve everything?
Oh, that would have actually... I would have completely changed my tune if that was the way the episode ended.
Yeah, like, at least we actually got to see the fight. But yeah, how about you? What was your weakest link?
I don't know, man. It was just so comically... It was just such a fucking comic book, the confrontation on the human side of things, with the fucking big bully jocks literally beating the shit out of kids and stealing their money. And the kids' first reaction is to, let's make mustard bombs and flamethrowers, and not, let's tell an adult that we just got robbed. Not just by anyone, but by foreigners, which us as the Japanese notoriously hate anyway.
Yep.
I don't know, I feel like there's a step that got missed between, oh, people literally beat the shit out of us and nearly killed us for money, and we just made mustard gas.
Yeah, there's it's a bit 1-2, miss a few 99-100, really, isn't it?
But anyway, let's end on a high note. Rick, do you have an MVP?
My MVP is actually Gauss and the Gausslings. Like, I think they were very well used in this episode to ramp up the peril at both the human level and at the military level, showing that the military ain't shit and that the humans need to rely on a force beyond themselves. And yeah, we knew that Gamera wasn't going down at the end. Like I even said at the end, if they couldn't lay a finger on the little dragons, well, the Gausslings even.
Why are you calling them Gausslings? When did they say that in the show?
Well, Gauss is what they call the big one, and the little ones are just little versions of the same thing.
Yeah, but the kid called them Thunderbirds.
Okay, so yeah, the Thunderbirds that are little mini versions of Gauss.
Okay, I can kind of understand why you don't want to use the term Thunderbirds, because that means something else to us in Britain.
Yes.
Rick, how would the Thunderbirds do against a fucking kaiju attack the level of, I don't know, let's not put the G-Man in there, let's just say fucking Rodan. Do you think the Thunderbirds could take down Rodan?
Probably not. Like, I think the only thing the Thunderbirds could do is they have the mole, and the mole digs a trap, and hopefully the thing falls into the trap.
Oh, guess what? That won't work against Rodan, because that motherfucker flies everywhere.
Yep. I think the mole is actually the only offensive Thunderbird that they can reliably use.
Oh, fuck me. It wouldn't even work on, like, Angerus, because his big gimmick is he digs good.
Yeah, the Thunderbirds are fucked. Who is going to be your MVP?
My MVP is, of course, going to be Gamera. He dominated everything while he was on screen. And, hey, guess what? That fucking 30 minutes of waiting was fucking worth it, because all it did was build the hype.
Yeah, absolutely. The only reason I gave it to Gauss is because I knew you were going to give it to Gamera. Like, you can't have a hero without a villain. But yeah, the hero stole the show.
And my god, they gave him his usual theme, and then they kicked it up a notch by giving him a heavy metal/rock version when he was kicking ass.
Yeah.
What an awesome change. I can't promise that I'm going to binge this to the level of Laserhawk, because Laserhawk was half the time investment, but I'm probably going to finish this series at some point.
Yeah, totally. Like, Netflix has been knocking it out of the park recently between One Piece, Laserhawk, and this. All three are good.
So yeah, on that not a bombshell, we're going to wrap things up today, guys. Don't forget, we've got the comment section down below on YouTube if you want to talk to us, or perhaps even suggest future episodes. Alternatively, if you're not watching via YouTube, instead listening via one of our many audio platforms, you can instead send us an email at
nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com. Once again, that is nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com.
As always, if you made it this far, you are our favourite people, and we hope you join us again next week, where we're planning to do something a bit different, but also a bit special. We hope you join us then. Bye, guys!
Ta-ra!